Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wild Wasteland. As always, I am Dean Maldonado, and with me is the nauseous and hungover with his tummy's all up shit, Michael Johnson.
This is all accurate and true.
Michael Johnson, say hello to the audience with a nice belch that I saw you just eat.
No, hey, how's it going? We're recording a podcast.
Wow, you are so informative today.
Like I'm just trying to keep it real. Usually we don't do this early.
I appreciate that. You're right.
Okay.
We don't do it this early. Usually you have like 4 cups of coffee, and I was up early. I was up real early.
Yeah.
I was up at like 8:35.
That's pretty early.
Yeah, it really hurts. I don't know why people wake up that early.
Yeah, I'm usually up and out by 7.
You know, there must have been a big study on the brain done recently.
There must have been?
Yeah, because I keep getting all these different articles on these studies of the brain in different regions and different effects of certain types of lifestyles on the brain.
Okay.
So there must have been some large study done. I would love to find the root papers of it. That'd be awesome. However,
this is the least informative thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, no. So like, there was some cool stuff like what's your sleep like? Do you go to sleep at the same time every night? Do you wake up at the same time every morning?
Like you mentioned earlier before the podcast, and subscribe to us. I don't know. I was gonna say, like, give us $25 a month, and you might hear what we were talking about before we recorded. But there would be no way for them to. No,
They're lining up around the block. I don't know if you saw that. There's people with tickets. I don't know where they got these tickets.
Oh yeah, for the watch. Listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we're
tickets?
doing a live podcast. It's not that we're recording it live. We're just gonna sit there with you and listen to it and all cringe together.
Why'd you really thought that joke was gonna be good?
Like, why'd you continue on Nazis for the 7th minute in a row?
It's really interesting.
Like the Spear of Destiny. I don't know.
But yeah, I just randomly fall asleep is what I was trying to. Like, that was like a roundabout way of me saying that I don't have any regular going to bed, but waking up I do have.
What's your regulated waking up?
Around like 7.
Like
gotta go to work.
The dot? Like, do you get out of bed when you wake up?
Usually have to hit the alarm clock 3 or 4 times.
Okay, because I was reading this study about how like cholesterol spikes and heart problems are way more possible if you don't have a regulated sleep pattern. And I was looking at it, I'm like, damn, this looks like, I could probably try and do this. And now I'm reading more about it, and it's like, motherfucker, if you change your sleep 1 hour, either way, waking up or going to sleep, is going to fuck you up the same. I'm like, all right, well, then I'm just not going to have a normal sleep cycle.
Well, I also hate those.
My brain can just deal with it when I get Alzheimer's at 67.
or you might not happen. If it's not in your family, you're probably not going to get it.
It's not, but I build up a lot of mental plaque and I don't sleep enough to wash it all off,
I don't know. All that shit just sounds like stupid bullshit, like herbal medicine or some bullshit.
What, you're trying to get all holistic on me? I'm not being holistic here. I'm being very actually scientific. Effectively, when you make thought processes, your brain works very hard.
Yeah.
And what happens when you work hard?
You play hard. Oh, yeah. Take me to the disco, baby.
Effectively, that is true. However, like you, if you run at all, you're going to break a sweat. You're going to start breathing hard. You're going to be working hard.
I'm breathing hard just sitting here.
You're going to be excreting a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
When your brain works hard, it excretes things. And so when you go to sleep, the way that you lay down, and when you are asleep and you lay into that REM cycle, that rapid eye movement cycle.
REM, baby. Good band. I like that one song.
effectively your spinal fluid works as a dishwasher, and it kind of just like shoots up and down your spine and all around your head, and it wipes away all that crap that your brain excretes while thinking all day. And when you don't do that often enough or regulate it enough, your body suffers. And so that's what they believe actually causes Alzheimer's at some point, is the buildup of that mental plaque, effectively, for lack of a better term, as of right now.
Yeah.
And so that's what they believe is really what slows the brain and hurts the synaptic receptors and like the connections you can make, which increases your risk of Alzheimer's, is the fact that you build up all this crap on your brain and you're not sleeping enough to wash it all off.
Right. So are you saying that in your millennial brain, you're saying that you need to take more naps?
Yeah. I don't take any naps.
Okay.
I'm not a napper. I wasn't as a child. I was never as a baby.
I'm a napper. I like naps.
I envy you.
Like after work. Like
I truly envy you. I would love to be able to be a napper. I think it'd be a great waste of time.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it.
I have to find other ways of wasting my time.
Like masturbation?
No, like reading. Ugh.
Yeah, no. Like this is why I guess this is gonna be a puffery episode. So we're gonna open the doors and let you in. Dean's the main researcher here because he likes to read a lot.
It's true. I find new topics and I tell Michael, and he's like,
"What's the TLDR?"
He's like, "What? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "All right, just wait, and we'll do a podcast on it. I'll write an entire script." Yeah, I put a lot of legwork in, but it's a labor of love, you know. I mean, I really enjoy it because at the end of the day, I don't nap. I sit at my house going, I could close my eyes right now. I wouldn't fall asleep. I would just lay there with my eyes closed thinking about other things.
You're thinking about doing something. Or I could just
open this book and read more about different types of magic.
Yeah, or I can like read an Anton LaVey or
I'm about honestly I would probably say I'm about a third of the way through right now. The Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey, because I refuse to know or say his middle name.
Isn't it Fillmore?
I don't fucking care. I really don't. I don't like that his face is on the back of the book. I think it scares people on the subway.
It's true. Well, you should only read the Satanic Bible in public.
I wish there was a Baphomet on the back of the book.
Like a real one with like titties out?
Sure. Whatever you want.
Baphomet.
You know, I would like to have just like a Baphomet statue or a Baphomet image on the back of the Satanic Bible, and not like this guy who looks like a failed, birthday party magician.
Yeah.
That then tried to be like a Sinbad impersonator, and then he was like, "Fuck it, I'll write a book." I don't want to see him on the back cover.
No, I don't want to see him either. But he does look like a failed.
He looks like if
public speaker or something.
He looks like if Howie Mandel was not, afraid of germs.
Yeah.
But he was afraid of not always having something caloric in his mouth. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, same regimens too. Now, you brought up holistic medicine. Is that something that you subscribe to heavily?
Me? No, I think it's the biggest bullshit.
You don't think any of it works?
No, like it's actually detrimental to your health, because I don't know if you've been noticing this, but these holistic motherfuckers are all like drink bleach now, anti-vaxxers. I don't know. I kind of throw them all in the same kind of boat. Even though I don't think
that's your problem. I feel like your brain is like a fondue pot, and you just have a lot of little pots going, and you're like, this person kind of like that one. Toss them in there. They're all the same.
Like, I'm like, what? Republican? Yeah, he's probably a Nazi. Yeah, he's probably a gun guy. Yeah, he's probably a Mexican too.
Like for you, there's one Asian.
Yeah,
there are
China,
no Taiwanese,
South
Filipino,
China,
Korean.
Chinese island. They got spicy Chinese.
Spicy Chinese?
Korean food is like really spicy, and I really like it.
I think they do that to try and ward off the Guaido.
What is the
Guido is wide eye.
Oh.
White people, we have big
Guido?
eyes. We have wide eyes. We're Guido.
Is that like reverse racism? I don't even know.
I don't know. I mean, is it reverse if it's just racism?
I know. I feel like
People call it reverse because white people have been in charge for a long
No, I
time.
get
so
it,
they
but-
feel like they're like, well, you can't be racist to the ones in charge. And it's like, what do you mean? That's who you should be racist towards.
yeah, no, it's.
That's
And I just use it because like we made that like slanted eyes or whatever. So like wide eye would be like a reverse.
that's true. We
Of
did.
that.
We did make a lot of different fucking.
When it comes to racist terms, I think that we can all agree that white people definitely invented the better ones.
I don't know about better. I would say just like a larger.
More effective.
We like I feel like other cultures, and this isn't. I mean, I'm white as can be, and I feel like bashing white people is kind of fun.
Yeah.
At this point in time in this state and world.
It's a
However,
little hacky, a little played out.
it feels a little. It does. It feels a little played out. But to be fair, while other cultures and creeds and races and sexes may have, they're much more peaceful than the white male.
Yeah.
Because the white male, we might be able to be called what? A honky, a cracker, a misogynist, a racist.
See, all these things are like the same person to me. Like
But-
it's all
but-
getting put in the fondue pot.
But so like, we can be called like literally one handful of things.
Yeah.
And because of that, we made a goddamn dictionary with an added thesaurus of insults for other types of people.
Yeah.
We have like 7 different insults just for a woman.
Don't get me started.
And the best part, this is my favorite thing about learning, is the fact that when you look into different languages and you look at the roots of their words,
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh.
it shows a lot about the people who made those words,
Yeah,
right?
like, oh, it's usually like a beautiful, like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Like the word nostalgic in Latin means like a sad realization or something. I forget what it is, but like it's like pretty much remembering a good time, but then you're also feeling a little bit sad because that good time is gone.
Yeah.
Like
Isn't it like sad remembering or something like that?
yeah, it's like it's something like that,
But like all the Romance languages, so Italian, Spanish, French,
Latin.
all based off of the Grecian language.
Yeah.
All of their positive words, all of their positive connotations for people, for things, are based off the root term for vagina, while all of their negative qualities are based off the root term for penis, because they knew that men are brutes. That's like men may rule the world. That's because we come in with the iron fist when everyone was already talking with a pen and a paper.
Yeah.
We're like,
Well, somebody's got to. Hey, listen.
Hey, the pen's mightier than the sword in the long run.
Yeah.
They should never have taken off the end of that quote,
Yeah, I feel like a philosopher invented that phrase too. Like the pen is
Oh.
mightier than the sword because I use the pen.
Yeah. And then they
The sword
stabbed him to
hurts.
death.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Plato.
Literally, Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Oh yeah.
All he said was, hey, everyone should love each other. And all these guys are like, But then what happens when people start asking why I have more than they do if I love them as much as I love anyone else? That could cause some issues. Kill him.
And
Kill him.
you can
Kill
learn.
him.
You can learn more about crucifixion in our
In our torture episode, yeah.
ancient torture techniques episode.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a fun one.
Episode 21, I think.
That was a dark time for researching.
I know.
I was really trolling the depths there. There was
I
a
know.
lot of books on torture that get way too in detail.
Yeah. We a few people that listen to the episodes were like, love you guys, but had to fast forward through a lot of it. I don't know how you guys were just able to talk about it.
Yeah, no, my mother likes every post that we make.
Yeah, she's
She
thank you
likes
for liking it.
She
She
likes
doesn't listen
all
to
of
any of
them.
it.
Hasn't listened to a single fucking word we've said. And honestly, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, that's
Because
probably
at
the
the end of
best.
the day, what am I going to send her to? Am I going to send her to torture? She hates gruesome things. Am I going to send her to
the breast
maybe
ripper
the
episode?
astrology one? But that would kind of make her sad because she likes reading her horoscope.
Oh no, and we just shit on it for like
right?
an hour and
for
a half.
like an hour and a half. We're like, hey, you're stupid and you don't know why, but you know what? You're just trying to fill some void that you don't know where you got it.
Well, I don't want to hear about your mother's.
There's a book that I've been trying to get. I have it on hold at the library. It's called Emotion. It's called The Emotion Code.
Okay.
By a guy named Dr. Barry Nelson, I believe. Maybe Bradley Nelson.
And
Bradley Nelson. I remember a D in there somewhere. So effectively, he says, and there's a lot of holistic healers like him who say that illnesses and ailments in the body is emotion pent up from certain things in our subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about the mind and you think about your body, you think of them as two separate things, don't you?
No, I just put it all in the fondue pot.
Hell yeah, that's how you should be. Most people will separate them as in like, I think I am me, and I control my body.
I kind of get that mentality, like you think like you, because I think like that sometimes. Like I was high one time and I was just like, man, the brain is just like trying to kill the body all the time, because it's like, you why do you drink beer? Why do you do this? Why you do
well,
like the brain is like, hey, you can do that stupid shit. And
humans are built with a light bit of self-destructive nature, like we like self-harm. I know it sounds terrible, but we do.
Because the brain hates the body, dude.
Because we really like addiction. Our brain loves to be addicted to things.
Stimulus, yeah.
And like everyone is, whether or not you're a clean-cut person or not. Because if you're clean-cut, what are you addicted to? I don't know. Coffee.
Probably shoving fucking needles
exercising.
Up their dick. Yeah, like shoving needles up their dick, dude. You don't even know.
You just gave me like the worst image in my mind I think I could ever have.
Yeah, I was reading up on Albert Fish this weekend.
Oh, please tell me about this as I take a drink.
No, we're talking about we're not talking about Albert Fish. That would be horrific. I don't even know where to start.
All right, then don't. All right, well, so now that my drink is over.
Yeah, back to...
Well, because, okay, so... And this is true. I've always loved this fact. I loved it since I found out in, like, the 9th grade when I was in science. Everything is atoms, right? Everything is made of atoms.
Oh, right.
Atoms are the smallest thing that we as humans have been able to find, correct?
I think so.
Okay, cool. So...
The quantum realm.
This milk crate...
we don't need to open up the doors.
That is holding up the microphone stand that I am using, correct?
Yeah, no, well, they don't need to know that. They don't need to know that.
I don't care. That is made of plastic, right?
Don't do that. That's annoying.
But it's made of plastic, correct?
Yes, it's plastic milk crate.
Okay. Now, plastic is entirely made of atoms, right?
I would assume so.
Sure. Now, if I were to grab it like this, and you can see how my fingers are indenting on every single little slat, do you think that I am fully physically touching this milk crate?
No, there's space there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always a small space between atoms, right?
Yeah. What are we trying to get at? What are you talking about?
Well, so why couldn't I phase through it? If there's always a small space between atoms, isn't there always a small space between every single bit of my body?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like the atoms are being held together by skin. I don't even know what the hell. I don't know how anything works.
But you understand kind of what concept I'm going after, right?
Yeah. No,
that your entire body is made of just atoms and molecules that are constantly pushing away from each other and towards each other. And so emotion is energy in motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you emote, that energy needs to go somewhere because it's in motion.
Yeah.
Usually, you'll emote and cry, or you'll yell, or you'll get angry, and you'll feel something, and that's you getting that emotion out.
Unless you're a sociopath.
Sure. But there's a lot of things that you don't release and you don't think about. Maybe, I don't fucking know. Maybe when you're 6 years old, you really wanted roller skates from your Uncle Jerry, who promised you them the entire year, and your birthday comes around and Uncle Jerry didn't even show up to your birthday party. When you're 46, these kind of doctors believe that you could have pancreatic cancer because tumors have grown in your pancreas, because that is where you chose to hold that grief towards Uncle Jerry from when you were 6 years old.
Are you trying to fucking convince
And
me
if
that
you
holistic
could-
medicine is a real thing?
No. This is what I'm saying. These doctors are talking about.
Oh,
And so
this
so
is the
if,
most
if
subtle,
you could
like,
find a
propaganda.
way, and so if you can find a way to release that tension and that emotion that you have pent up in your subconscious that you consciously have forgotten about,
Right.
you can then alleviate that ailment. That's what they're trying to talk about. And so that's what the emotion code is lightly dipping into.
Okay.
Now, this is more or less, he makes a way for you to talk to your subconscious
Right.
and give a voice to your subconscious, the thing that you really aren't in any control of, the thing that makes you you, which, as they say, if your brain controls your body, but we only use 10% of our brain.
Which is bullshit.
That's because your brain is like an iceberg and you only use your conscious brain,
Right.
which is in your head.
Yeah.
However, the rest of your brain is made up of your synaptic receptors and your connective tissue and your veins and your organs, and your body is part of your brain because your brain is part of your body. And so your body is that 90% subconscious that you don't actively use. And that's where you store things. And so they have these charts and these questions that you ask yourself and ways to like test your body, and like your body will actively respond in muscle memory, whether it's like a yes or a no to certain things. And like you ask yourself questions to find out kind of where you're feeling negatively, even if you can't understand it.
Right.
And then to release that, to then release those negative holds on your life. I think of it as a Christmas story.
Oh,
Think of when Bob Marley comes in A Christmas Story, right? He comes in, he's all shackled up, and Scrooge is like, "Oh, who put you in these chains?"
Christmas Carol.
Sure, Christmas Carol. Thank you. And then, and Bob Marley is like, you know, these are the chains that I built in life, and
Yeah.
I now wear in death.
Oh man,
And
that
it's
sucks.
all the grief, and it's all the pent up regression, and the angst and the feelings that were repressed because of either, I mean, bad business dealings, whatever Bob Marley felt bad about in life, that he wore in death. And so I really am very interested to get my hands on this book so I can, you know, try and see if there are these chains that I'm wearing and if there are ways to break them before death so that I can feel freer, you know, because I feel like that's a big part of the world today,
Yeah, freedom.
is feeling freer. It's not freedom.
Oh yeah,
Freedom has come and gone.
yeah.
We don't really have it.
We're all enslaved. Yeah.
We're not enslaved. We're just happily running on our gerbil wheels because we get to fit them out with whatever the fuck we want because Pimp My Ride was popular enough.
I feel like you should take more naps.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think if I took more naps, I wouldn't really be able to
Gotta wash that brain out.
notice these things.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? That it was like a science experiment where they I forget what maybe it's to cure schizophrenia or something. They like separated the left brain and right brain, and they found out that the right brain or the left brain. I'm not I haven't. It's been like a year since I watched this, but like the one side of the brain that controls your speech and everything, like if you had this eye closed and you looked at something, like that side of the brain would know what's going on. It controls that eye. It's like, oh, that's a piece of paper. But if you close the other eye and your brain looks at it, it like doesn't understand.
Oh, just because of what it can perceive?
Yeah, because it's not. It's also like you have a second consciousness in your brain that is unable to speak and unable to.
Well, so I guess
perceive the world, but it's in there trapped in your mind.
There was a comedian, and I think it was John Mulaney.
Okay.
But there was a comedian who made this joke about how schizophrenics are just people who have their internal voice. You know, the voice. Oh, it's Pete Holmes. It's the voice they hear in their head.
Yeah.
You know, the voice that they like narrate things with. Their voice is just kind of stuck on the loud setting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the normal indoor voice setting.
Yeah.
And that's why they're schizophrenic, is because like it's a person shouting at them. They're finally like, "Fine, I'll do it."
That's a very Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes.
Kind of bit.
It was a really fun bit. It's on his HBO special.
Okay, yeah, check it out. We're sponsored
We're plugging him
by Pete Holmes.
He really needs it.
Hey, he just lost Crashing.
Did he?
Yeah, they didn't renew it for another season.
Yeah, it makes sense. Got 3 seasons. That's crazy.
That third season was dog shit.
Didn't even watch it. I got like 2 episodes into the second season, and I was like, that's enough.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I feel like that's the most accurate review of that show. Like that first season, killer.
It was really good.
Like it's the most accurate depiction of stand-up, like being a stand-up comedian that I've ever seen.
And then I like that the second season starts, and then he's like kind of doing well, and then he kind of starts sucking. And then I was like, okay, that's enough. Because you know what? That's the true story. It's like,
yeah. And then you just repeat those 2 episodes for the next 30 years.
But I say, yeah, a lot
of
comedians they get stuck in this mid phase. That's not new, not hyper successful, but successful enough.
Yeah.
And they can't reach that hyper successful level, which are really our entire culture as a world at this point has deemed as like successful.
Yeah.
Like Netflix specials, Comedy Central specials. Even Comedy Central specials mean nothing nowadays because who the fuck watches that? You know? Do they have an app? Do they have a streamable app?
I don't know.
If they don't, then they don't. Doesn't matter. Oh, you know what I saw the other day?
You're high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, this is really cool. Stephen King is making a new. He came to these producers and was like, "Hey,"
he's making a new comedy special.
No, he's like, "Hey, I have a really scary story that I want to write.
Oh.
I want to make it a TV show."
They're like, "No,"
and they were like, "All right," because they're about to launch a new streaming service. And he was like, "But there's one stipulation."
Mm-hmm.
The people who watch this TV show can only watch it when it's dark out.
See,
and
finally.
So it's a new streaming service that's coming out. It's gonna be
After dark.
It's gonna be through an app on your phone.
Yeah,
and it's aimed at mobile viewers. So all the episodes for things are gonna be like 7 to 14 minutes, or it's gonna be like 22 minutes and have like a 7-minute intermission or something like that. Instead of commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going, because it's an app, it's going to have the access to your phone and be able to see when sunset is. And as soon as sunset happens, it'll unlock this show. And as soon as sunrise comes, it
goes away.
Because
Stephen King's like, I'm sick of these bitches watching my shit
in the middle of the goddamn day. Of course, it isn't scary at noon.
Yeah, you're like,
actually, it is very scary at noon.
Yeah, that's what makes
the
it
original
scary.
one is very scary at noon. That's when I watched it. I watched it by myself.
The original one on television?
Well, so my dad had he had 2 VHSs of the original It, and it was the first half and the second half of the 2 movies. And I watched that by myself in my basement because I was terrified of clowns.
Oh shit! Then that's a very terrifying movie for you.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oof.
But I watched it in the middle of the day, which was honestly scarier than watching it at night. Because at night you have this kind of comfort.
Yeah, because you're like, oof, Pennywise only comes during the day.
Well, that, and also like you're like, oh, this scene happened during the day. I could be scared during the day, but like during the day you have all the fears, and then when you watch during the middle of the day, you have all the fears of the day, and then you have all of the fears of the night as the movie's setting in, and you're really thinking about it. That's the best way to watch a horror movie. But it cured me of my fucking fear of clowns.
I always say that people that have fears of things like elevators or clowns
should watch the movie that really deals with it, because really it gives you that empowering feeling of like, okay, so like for the It that has already come out in the new version,
right? Part 2,
Part 1 has already come out.
Oh, is Part 2 not out yet?
Part 2 is coming out, I think, midsummer.
Oh shit! Shout out to It. Go check it out.
Right? It looks pretty damn good. However, as a child who's afraid of clowns,
right?
And I mean like just like birthday clowns, not like, I was honestly more afraid of Ronald McDonald than any other clown in the world.
Okay. Because he has
I just had a weird nightmare about him.
High cholesterol.
And he freaked me out. I had this weird nightmare that he was like babysitting me. And he was like sitting in this little chair in my bedroom as a babysitter, like waiting for me to go to sleep, because he kept telling me, he's like, oh, I'm only here to babysit you, not your brothers. Like, I'm here to babysit you. And so he was like sitting in my room. It was like freaky as fuck. And if you look at him, he's a scary guy. He has like pointy things on his eyes.
I think you're thinking of John Wayne Gacy. I don't.
But I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, if these ragtag kids know better than the Goonies, could kill not only the most terrifying clown I've ever seen in my life, but also a clown that ends up being some sort of alien monster creature that feeds off their fear. Like, why the fuck am I giving him food? and so I stopped being afraid of clowns, and after that I was fine.
Okay, so you're still not afraid of clowns to this day?
Correct.
All right, bring him in.
Oh my! Hi.
This
is a fun.
There's a sexy naked clown here now.
And he's stripping.
Yes.
What are you? 320, 5'10"? Yeah, I'm about right.
Yeah.
Hairy as can be. Are you Polish descent?
Out. Of course. Yeah.
Polish and Spanish. That is interesting and hairy. Okay, all right. Moving on.
Thank you for your service.
So holistic medicine.
Right, yeah. You feeling better?
Well, I got a question for you.
I have an answer for you, I think.
In your fondue pots,
right?
Is there a different fondue pot for like like Eastern medicine, kind of like Eastern healing, like Chinese old ancient remedies?
Poke you with needles and shit?
Well, not even that, but sure, like that, but also like, they have in like China, they
incense.
have like certain teas made with like ginger and black tea that will do XYZ to the body and like really cure this kind of ailment. Like, do you believe in that shit? Or is that a different fondue pot than holistic medicine, which is like rose crystals to find love and using
that's magic. That's
using
rituals.
using fucking those forks, those tuning forks to ail you for dentistry. You know, like
we're watching
clutching rocks to stop you from feeling the pain of a root canal. You know, like do you believe in that shit as the same shit as the Eastern stuff, or no?
Well, first of all this new stuff is just like, I don't even know where they made this shit up. Like the idea of rocks and triangles and pyramids and shit. Like
Egypt.
Focusing energy.
Egypt.
That all came from the Egyptian Renaissance or the Egyptian Revival period?
More or less. Well, it was that extrapolated through the European Renaissance, extrapolated through authors of the Industrial Revolution of England,
right?
Extrapolated through French writers, extrapolated through American writers.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of.
So that's all fucking stupid.
Yeah. Effectively, at the end of the day, yeah, but people
I don't
believed
know.
in it. I mean, look at the Masons, right?
Right.
Everyone had, since Nicolas Cage broke the mold on conspiracy and really showed us what the government was hiding with National Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure is an amazing movie. Go watch that
It's a great
movie.
documentary.
Yeah. I love it.
It really happened.
Oh, it definitely happened.
Nick Cage owns the Declaration of Independence and used lemon juice on the back.
No, he gave away his T-Rex skull recently. So
He
I
did.
think
You know, one of the only things that he kept. Do you know what it was?
I have no idea. His pyramid
Yep.
tombstone thing.
Yep.
And
His
and,
9-foot pyramid over his grave.
Well, I feel like because you can
it's white marble, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. You can pre-buy a lot of shit that when your funeral and stuff, and I feel like he just already paid for it.
They say you can't take it with you.
You can definitely put it on top of you.
No, has anyone who ever tried come back and told you it didn't work?
Well, I feel like if you came back and it worked, they wouldn't tell anybody because
Why not?
because you just came back from the dead, dude.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like
you had enough
people would
stuff to-
fucking kill you.
Do you think that they had enough, like the ancient pharaohs, like they had enough gold and people with them
Yeah.
that they were able to go back and like live as a cat?
Do they believe in reincarnation?
I don't know, but I feel like that would be one of the best reincarnations, to live as a cat, like a house
And like
cat.
worshipped and
Dude, like live as a house cat for like a mom of 3 young girls.
yeah, like you'd just be like in heaven,
Yeah, that is heaven.
fed all the time.
Yeah, you're fed. You get to lay in the sun. You get to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
There is a
You're living for like 35 years, 45 years.
Did you see that picture of the crocodile? It was like a Chinese crocodile that they thought was like an omen of good luck, and it was in the zoo, and everyone kept throwing it like chicken and meat, and
it died?
It died of being too fat.
Oh my god!
Look up this picture. It's fucking awesome.
It died of animal gout.
It just looks like a fat wiener dog.
Honestly,
crocodile.
I have too many friends who have gotten gout.
Well, because you come from a wealthy family of Jews, wealthy Jews.
Wow, you can get thrown out. You can get arrested in Hollywood for saying the Jews run Hollywood.
I didn't say that they run
I don't know
Hollywood.
why. I think that's a positive statement. I don't think it's a negative statement.
I feel like Jews want to rule the world, but don't want people to know that they rule or admit that they rule the world. Like having your cake and eating it too. Because then they're like, oh, don't like I feel like it might be like a Holocaust kind of thing. Like if they think that we're too powerful, they're going to try to kill us, put us in camps.
You really think that's what the Jews are worried about?
I don't know what the fuck the Jews
you think
are worried.
if they wanted to quietly rule the world, that they would be worried about a Holocaust?
Maybe a Holocaust of their own design. Like they built it themselves.
Now that would be crazy. That wouldn't happen.
You never know.
I don't know. I don't think it would happen.
I don't know.
The Jews would never try and exterminate themselves.
Now, like,
if there's anything that history has taught us, the Jews would never try and exterminate themselves.
I feel like history has taught us that.
Yeah, they would never try that. That'd be stupid. We're already at dwindling numbers.
Dwindling? Whoa. Hey, I don't know.
The small amount is in Israel. The majority is in the United States.
Yeah, baby.
Everyone has fled France by now. Or at least the majority has.
Why? What's going on in France?
France is very anti-Jew.
Really?
Yeah, they're very pro-Islam.
Are they? Is France going to be the next place? Like they're going to have like an Auschwitz?
No.
That would be fucking crazy.
No, they wouldn't have it. I don't think it would happen for Jews again.
No.
I think Jews get too much light in the media. I think they get too much face time in the media to have that happen again. I mean, right now, there was a bill put forward to call the the immigrant internment camps in America, concentration camps.
Wait, who wanted to do this?
I don't know.
Was it a Republican that was just like evil, or a Democrat that wanted to like shine light on it?
Probably both. I really don't know / care.
Independent. Like a lot of those fucking news stories are just like crazy people that like both sides of us. Like, I don't want anything to do with them.
We have a goddamn president who does the 90% of his fucking legislation through Twitter. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
This is pretty crazy, huh?
Right?
That's why I don't like talking about politics. It's like literally too insane for me to believe.
We're not. It's a wild enough wasteland without getting into the wasteland of politics. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
So Eastern medicine.
But you know what I do want to talk about.
You want to talk about Eastern. You want to talk about what's the one where they poke you? What the fuck is that?
Acupuncture. Acupuncture's pretty cool. I've always wanted to try it, but I don't want to get poked.
I hear that you can't feel it.
Yeah, that's what they say. But I don't believe them.
Oh, is that where your belief?
I believe that once a needle's sticking in my fucking skin, I'm gonna feel it. You know?
Just don't move it.
And I can control that? Are you kidding me?
I mean, like just.
I have such spastic movements that I headbutted a baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was an accident, and the mother apologized to me, and I said, it's okay, your baby has a soft head.
Oh, you Dick Cheney? They were apologizing for you?
It's not my fault. You know, he was in front of my rifle, and don't worry, it was just buckshot. He's my friend. I apologized. He says he's sorry, too. Don't worry, we're good.
He never apologized.
No. Why would Dick Cheney apologize? His fucking name is Richard, but he chooses to go by Dick.
What? That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, that's your point, that he's evil, not the Forever War and everything else that he did? Like,
nope, none of that. None of that. Just the fact that he chooses to go by Dick.
What do you want to talk about?
At this point, you got me so off topic, I don't even remember. I was going to talk about the Yeti.
What Yeti?
The
Indian one?
No, the Sasquatch CIA documents that I read about.
Oh, the ones that they released?
Yeah, I posted about this on Facebook for you guys.
The deer hair or whatever?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They released these documents. It's 22 pages.
Mm-hmm.
The first, honestly, there's for some reason, the head of the Bigfoot inquiry and examining whatever they were.
Yeah.
He decides to put random photocopied articles in there, which is like 6 of the pages.
Oh.
10 of the pages, the FBI saying, we don't know what you're talking about. There was never anything like that. And then he was quoting other people who said, yes, we did test what we thought to be Bigfoot hair.
Yeah.
And then he was like, as you see, this person on this date and this person on this date said so. Can I please see the results?
Right.
And they're like, oh, yes. We couldn't find any results.
Oh.
So he went to another office and was like, hey, they said they couldn't find results. Do you have the results? And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. There was like 4 more pages of that. And then finally they're like, yeah, here you go. It was most likely deer hair. Here's photocopies of the hair. Oh. It was most likely hair of deer.
Hair of the dog, hair of the deer.
God damn it. 22 pages. To show me a photocopy of a small patch of skin and 8 long hairs that you have already told me is a deer.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know, thanks for making this a goddamn headline. You bury the fucking Yeti foots that the Indian army, military has found in the foothills of the Himalayas.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about that.
I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about deer hair. Give me all the details. Tell me how they found and tested what they thought was Bigfoot hair. Ooh. Make a Discovery Channel show and have it go 27 seasons.
Yeah. Finding Bigfoot every Tuesday.
I got canceled.
Yeah, they never found him.
They never found anything.
Yeah.
They didn't find footprints. They didn't find droppings. They were in the wrong woods.
I just wish that I could be in a television show that just went for 22 seasons and didn't do shit.
I'm not kidding, dude. Who the
Failed.
fuck? Who the hell was the brilliant con man who sold every single person who searches for Sasquatch on the idea that they all go from like mountaintops?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I wish it was just like a 9-foot man who had this odd genetic disease that made him very hairy
Yeah.
and rather eloquent. He had a monocle and a top hat and was in a full suit. He wasn't wearing shoes because he said they didn't make them wide enough for him. But we didn't think that we didn't think that was odd. And he let us know in this fantastic conference, this weekend-long conference that he held in Portland, Oregon, about Bigfoot hunting. He told us what to spray ourselves with, where to look,
How to spread your asshole
what the
cheeks.
mating calls sound like,
Yeah.
how to attract them, what cameras to use. He was very specific about the cameras.
Yeah.
Watch him give him like heat sensing cameras, and he's like a cold-blooded individual, you know,
Yeah.
just sent him on the wrong trail the whole time. And Discovery's like, let's make a show.
Why have we not found any Bigfoots?
They make a show in 6 years, hosted by that man. Say,
Yeah.
we're finding Bigfoots.
Oh my God, I don't want to hear it. Jeez.
I hope we find him one day while I'm alive. That'd be so good.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
The 9-foot-tall albino.
They're not gonna find Nessie.
Well, they've been trying. Did you ever see that one time where they had like 22 boats with all like sonar and just sweep the entire fucking thing and they didn't find anything?
Well, they found all those caverns and they sent all those scuba divers in, and I was like, find treasure, find treasure. I wanted them to come up and have like a goddamn pirate.
Yeah.
Just like sitting on like a mound of gold,
Yeah.
being like, my crew's coming for me sometime.
Uh-huh.
And just like dead as a skeleton. That'd be great.
Yeah, just keep finding dead fucking bodies down here.
Well, this one's a Celtic ruin. There's a small girl, and she's alive. Run!
She's like a mermaid.
Oh my God.
Death.
She's a siren.
Yeah, just like, oh, that'd be fucking stupid. They all the sirens were in the Loch Ness the whole time.
Yeah, they were stuck in one little lake in the middle of Scotland.
Come fuck me. in
One little cavern.
That's what the Loch Ness monster's doing. He's just fucking all day long.
That's all he got sidetracked.
Yeah. No,
He
it
said hello to
happens.
the modern world. Someone took a
Yeah.
picture. He got camera shy, and then
Yeah.
was like, "Let me go
Then he
back to
went
my
away.
brothel."
Yeah.
Do
We
you think-
solved it.
Do you think that like other, because they're intelligent enough species, you know, like there are
Right.
intelligent species like rats have kings,
Yeah.
and crows have like the ability to use tools to help them for things, and they
Well,
also like do crow court.
Yeah, crow court. There's also like crow memory, like
Yeah,
crow
they-
revenge too.
Yeah,
like, there's
crows can like memorize a face and
Yeah.
tell their friends your face and have
and then
crows attack
fuck you up all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, for like years.
Yeah. Generations of crows. Yeah.
Do you think they have like similar concepts of like whores
Like
as we do?
like a crow whore.
Like a crow whore or like a chimpanzee brothel?
I don't know. I don't.
You know, because like if they're intelligent enough, that was the first thing the man did.
Is like enslave themselves into relationships.
It's not enslave.
Like
It's
monogamy.
utilize their body for profit.
Oh yeah, there are. So
I'm talking about like
that's interesting that you talk about
like
this.
prostitution.
There is. So there's a study with a bunch of apes
Oh shit!
where they introduced this like form of currency with them.
What was it? Bananas?
I don't
hope
remember.
It was bananas.
I'm-
If it wasn't bananas, it could be Doge coins. Can you just call it Doge coins?
Yeah, they introduced crypto currency to them, and I forget what it was. It was probably like rocks painted gold or something. And they gave it to all these monkeys, and they realized that they like the monkey with the currency with like the most currency would like go up to female monkeys and give her like some currency, and then like he'd have sex with her. It was like a weird ass study. I don't know who did it, but there's actually a lot of cool, funny shit about that. I actually want to read up on that and actually talk about it one day.
That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun. We can do that one in a future podcast. Because that's interesting. You know, what is the base of humanity?
It's worship and currency and everything else.
Well, one of the things that intrigues me is in the first cave,
right,
where they found a human remains. You know, the oldest human remains in a cave.
No, it isn't. It was like Ethiopia. It was like
yeah.
It was a cave.
But yeah, no, the first cave-dwelling human, the oldest cave-dwelling human they've ever found.
I get what you're saying.
And they found the oldest domesticated dog bones laying outside.
It was John Wick.
And they also found the oldest known strain of marijuana outside the cave.
Right.
And that we have actually evolved with this plant.
To get progressively stupider.
No. Why do you think our brain has cannabinoid receptors? And that the brain is cannabis that literally has it excretes cannabinoid for your cannabinoid fucking glands. What do you think?
No.
How do you think that got there? It's because we've evolved with this plant.
All right.
And that's what they actually, for a certain time, there was a lot of people who were speculating, believing that the Garden of Eden, it wasn't actually an apple that was eaten.
It was a joint.
That it was that they literally it was that it is the plant of knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is the way of relaxing the brain and enhancing the brain to understand certain concepts it couldn't have without it.
Yeah,
and bridge certain synapses to make us self-reflect more, which would enhance the entire brain.
Yeah. I've heard DMT, I've heard acid, I've heard all these.
Yeah, but acid was man-made. Now DMT, maybe.
It was DMT, it was some like fucking thing.
DMT was extracted from roots, and it's been done in the Amazonian people for a long time as a ritual.
Like Joe Rogan talks about how DMT is formed in the brain.
It is. Now, when you die, DMT is released, which DMT kind of actually exaggerates your perception of time to where while the actual physical trip of DMT may be 5 minutes,
it feels like 10 months.
It could feel like a lifetime.
Yeah.
And so some people believe that when you die and your brain excretes that DMT that it has built up over your lifetime, and really since it's been born, it's had that encapsulated DMT for when you die,
right? That
it allows you to kind of stretch your perception of time to live entirely another life in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be insane and kind of redundant and also kind of mind-bending, because then at a certain point, are you living in your DMT mind with living people, or are you living in a DMT mind of your own making? It's very easy to slip into solipsism that way, and if it is solipsistic, then why the fuck am I making a normal day where I go to a fucking day job, you know? Like, why aren't I the fucking president where I fly to work?
It is your own mind.
It is, and that's why I really like, what's it called? The style of dreaming.
I think the word you're looking for is lucid dreaming.
That's it.
Yeah,
yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't take like 5 minutes.
No, we didn't. Why the fuck? Listen, you can look at my search history. I have not looked up lucid dreaming. However, now I'm going to get recommended every single fucking book on lucid dreaming because my phone is probably listening to us say lucid dreaming over and over.
And you just like put out like 10 minutes of like this hippie like holistic.
I'm gonna be getting like ads for rose quartz lamps.
It's like, man, we grew up with fucking weed, dude. We grew. It's like it's part of us. Do you believe in holistic medicine?
Certain aspects, yes, I really do. I really do believe in certain aspects of holistic medicine. I don't believe that they should entirely replace Western medicine. And I don't believe that Western medicine should entirely replace holistic / Eastern medicine.
No, it definitely
/
shouldn't.
Ancient medicines.
Yeah, because it is our current form of medicine is fucking terrible. Like just
it really is.
Gouge people.
It's not even the for the profit aspect, right?
Well, no, like it's not even that. You're right. You're right. But the mixing of certain chemical, like the reason why, like why can't you take a whole box of Advil, right? Like why can't you take a whole thing of like 50 pills? It's not because it can kill you because they put a chemical in there that hurts your liver, so you don't get addicted to it. They created these things to be addictive, and then they put aspects into it that make them harmful. If they didn't have that one chemical in it, I was reading this weird guy.
Yeah, but that's like at the same time, are you saying that you would prefer to be addicted to these?
I'm just saying, like, why, just the sick aspect that they would put something into medicine,
like an inhibitor,
to make it harmful. Like I get the reason why they put.
I think that's to save lives. I think that's to honestly save lives. I think that is so that people who do end up building a tolerance and wanting to up their dose and continue and keep building will get, dissuaded from that before it takes their entire life. And I believe that's a good thing. However, I also don't believe that every ache and pain and every headache and every, my big toe hurts, it shouldn't be solved with Advil or a painkiller. I was raised to walk it off. I shit you not. My dad's a fucking PhD doctor and always told me to walk it off or rub a little dirt in it.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. Like if you get a big fucking scrape on your arm, sure. And you want to keep running out and playing, you don't want to run as I get a Band-Aid, rub some fucking dirt in it.
Yeah, get in there.
It doesn't
spit on it. Put some leaves on it.
Truly. At the end of the day, it's gonna be the exact same because you're gonna go home, you're gonna wash it off.
Yeah.
All the dirt that was in it and on it will be washed off, and you will put some fucking Neosporin or whatever you're gonna put on it and wrap it up, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But like, don't let that shit slow you down. But also walking it off, like, yeah, I've twisted my ankle. I'm not gonna wrap my ankle. I'm just gonna keep walking and let it work in its natural function to heal properly and not heal improperly by me resting it for too long.
Yeah. I fucked up my ankle like a year or two ago, and I just kept walking on it, and it hurt for like 6 months.
Well, you're probably walking improperly because you're trying to mentally walk the same that you're used to walking.
Yeah.
But you injured your ankle.
Yeah.
Most likely walking in that style.
No, it was on ice.
Okay. Then if you didn't, then
twice.
You're trying to mimic your walking style, and maybe your walking style wasn't the right way for your joints to be moving. Maybe you're pigeon-toed. Maybe you're what's the other one? Pigeon-toed is inward on the toes. What's the other one? Duck-toed, yeah. Maybe you're like bow-legged. Who fucking knows?
Who knows? Like flip-flop. I'm not fucking walking like a penguin. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying. Maybe you're not walking straight, and so the joints aren't working in the exact way it should for the muscles.
First of all, my ankle's fine now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'm just saying I don't have health insurance. Like, what the hell is going on here? This is like an intervention?
No. But I'm just thinking, like, I think it's so stupid that people are like, oh, I got home from work and my head hurt so much, so I took 2 Advil and drank a little glass of water, and I felt much better.
Shit. No.
And you're like, okay, well, what did you have to drink today? And they're like,
sugary
well, I
water.
woke up and I had a coffee.
Right.
I got to work and I had another coffee there, and I had a Diet Coke with lunch and
aspartame in it.
I had another Diet Coke at 3 p.m. because I'm just so bad, and now I'm home. It's like, okay, so drink water because you're fucking dehydrated as shit.
Yeah.
Like...
This is good advice.
It really.
You can't say that your advice is really good advice.
I'm not trying to.
You just did. You're like, it is really good advice.
Well, I've procured it from many different sources.
No, it's just like living your life. Yeah, like people that take too many pills. You know.
How about this one? Here's a great one.
Unless you have to.
Now this isn't about 60% of the time that you are sitting at your desk or on your couch and you are thinking,
man,
I could
really use
snack.
a burger. Yeah,
I'm really hungry.
I knew what you were gonna say right before you even said it, because you're high as shit right now. You really want a snack.
Most of the time,
yeah, you're high.
You're thirsty.
Oh,
most of the time you're dehydrated, and your body is just trying to signal you to put things in it so it hopefully gets more water by saying something that it knows will motivate you more than I am thirsty. But most of the time, you're just fucking thirsty.
Yeah, no, that's what they say about Americans. Like, our brains are wired wrong. But that's usually the French that say that.
What would you say is wired wrong about our brains?
Like that mentality. Like, what the fuck you just said?
No, but okay, sure.
Like, I don't know. That's what I read.
I mean, I agree. I don't think that we're wired wrong. I think we're wired differently. I think Americans are wired to consume.
Yeah, I feel like that's wrong,
which is different.
I don't know.
I think it's different than every generation that's come before us, because every generation that's come before us has been wired to produce.
Oh, and we just consume.
And we consume. We don't produce. We consume. That's what we're wired to do, is to watch every show, to binge every show, to watch all these movies, to watch the entire franchise. Oh, I like this actor. Let's watch his entire filmography. You know?
It's like the people from Wall-E.
Exactly. They're made to consume. They're not made to produce anything.
Yeah. They produce poo-poo.
And so we're infatuated and, overwhelmed when a certain person produces something.
Yeah.
We find it, inconceivable.
Yeah.
The idea that girl Billie Eilish could have a #1 album as her second album ever, and she's already put out fucking 2 albums at 17 years old. And you're like,
cool.
Oh my God, that's insane. I mean, Lorde did the exact same thing.
And she's way fucking better.
But we're infatuated by these people because they actually produce something.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're wired to do. We're wired to consume anything and everything that we can get in front of us. And we've been given the tools to do that.
Yeah.
But we're also creatures of habit. We have natures to us as creatures. We like the things we like. We dislike the things we don't like. We like to talk to people who agree with us. We don't like to have arguments. Some people love to have arguments. Some people love to start arguments.
Yeah, that's you and me. And little side note, thank you for consuming our podcast, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
If you could find 10 more consumers for this podcast, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll send you a $2 bill.
No, don't fucking. No.
I will. Send me your address. I'll send you a $2 bill if you get 10 people to subscribe. You guys show me there's a fucking subscription.
Don't put money, because that turns us into like a fucking pyramid scheme.
I'm not trying to bribe them.
No, not bribing.
Actually, yes, I'm trying to bribe them. I'm not trying to employ them.
You're not trying to fucking create a pyramid. We're not creating a pyramid scheme here.
No, eventually we will start a cult, and when that happens is when we own a bountiful amount of land.
Yeah.
And can cultivate some for crops. And
what a
can
loser.
Sustain off of the environment.
Yeah, we're going to move to South America.
Fuck off. We'll stay in North.
Okay, all
I
right.
like the seasons. I know these seasons. South America has very different seasons.
Because I was listening to someone from like New Zealand or Australia or whatever, and he's like, "Ooh, winter's coming," and I'm just like, "Winter's coming. It just got over." Because they're on the other side of the hemisphere. I'm like, what was this guy stupid? Was this guy 6 months off?
That's actually here's one of my favorite things. Right?
Okay.
Is I've been thinking about, right? I've been thinking about flat earthers.
Okay. Oh God.
Well, because flat earthers, they're lightly interesting. Lightly, I say that with a huge grain of salt, because they're really not that interesting. They kind of
they just got the one thing
all the time.
Even when they do science, it's just like fuck.
Yeah.
That disproved what we're trying. You know what? We'll do it again.
We'll do it our way.
I like how you have a conclusion before you have a theory or hypotenuse.
Yeah, like, well, if I can run for 17 miles straight and the horizon is only 17 miles away, shouldn't I curve a little bit? Shouldn't I notice the curve? And you're like, no, because you're a very small speck on a massive planet.
You're just
however,
overthinking it, bro. It's a flat.
When I was in Australia.
Oi. Thanks for listening, Australia.
The thing that freaked me out the most, arguably,
okay,
was the fact that the moon was upside down.
The fuck are you
from
talking
what
about?
Is
that a real thing? Is the moon upside down in Australia? Is
from
everything
what
wrong?
We're used to seeing, from the vantage point that you and I are normally used to seeing, with the man in the moon, things like that, entirely upside down. When you're in the southern hemisphere, I
don't believe you. This is like crazier. Like you saying this is crazier to me than like flat Earth.
No, because it was funny because the guy that we went to his house. And, oh my god, his house looked like a fucking Victorian palace. He had a tennis court in the backyard. We laid down on the tennis court, and I looked up. I laid down. I looked up like over my eyebrows, kind of thing, so I was upside down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at the moon. And I was like, that's it. That's the moon I know. When I was looking at it upside down.
Okay.
I was like, that's the moon that I know. That's the man in the moon right there. You can see his face. But like when I stood back up and looked at it, it's upside down.
That's fucking nuts.
However,
and the water goes the opposite way too, right?
Nah, they have different flushing toilets. I mean, yes, technically water would spin the other way.
Yeah.
But
they have toilets that stop that?
No, their toilets just flush differently. Same with Germany, same with Spain, same with England. Their toilets flush differently than the United States.
Wow.
Not everyone has.
I need to travel more.
Not everyone has the fucking amount of water to have a full bowl of water and then flush that bowl fuller and then suck it all out and then refill it.
American bowls. My bowl runneth over. I fill it back up with poo-poo.
Precisely.
Some people don't even have poo-poo water.
No, some people, like when I was in Germany,
they have holes.
Oh my god, I was only eating fucking meat and cheese and bread, and I just had to poo so bad. We were staying at this woman's house that my cousin knew. I went to her bathroom. I looked in the toilet. It was like a flat ledge, and then like at the front there was like a dip down in like a kind of like a half circle.
Okay,
I would say like pointing north. And so I was like, oh, this is not going to go well because I really got to take a shit. So I shat. And I mean, it looked like a cow pie, just like sitting on this like porcelain ledge. I was like, what am I about to do? And I flushed, and a big wall of water comes from the tank and just like pushes everything off the porcelain ledge down the little fucking hole and out. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant.
Rich people.
Smelled terrible, but it was brilliant. Oh, the adventures.
Maybe we'll do a whole episode about toilets from around the world.
Honestly, I could be down. We can do a deep dive. We can do 7 episodes. Would you guys enjoy that? Please DM us if you don't want us to do it. If I get no DMs, our next 9 episodes will be about toilets from around the world.
And then I'm sober, so I'll talk them out of it. Don't worry, everybody.
I'm sober, too.
You're high as shit.
Says you.
Says everybody listening.
Says your mother.
Whoa. Don't involve her.
No, it's true. She just texted me. She said, Michael told me that you're high. And I said, God damn it, Mrs. Johnson. I'm sorry, Miss Johnson. Ooh, I am for real.
Oh, my God. All right. We got to cut it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to Wild Wasteland. As always, I'm Dean Maldonado.
I'm Michael Johnson.
And remember, seriously, stay vigilant. Shit is happening. But stay wild.
Is this like a 1970s like news broadcaster? This just in from Russia. Stay vigilant. Stay wild. Oh no, the autistic one is on the fucking music again.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my
I said 1970s, not I don't even know. 1920s.
1970s. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like all the music was very hippie,
Disco Duck.
but everybody else is like very professional.
You don't want Disco Duck?
Disco Duck, like no, that's a terrible. Go fuck yourself.
All right, who's better, Disco Duck or Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck, obviously. Smoke cigars. And, like,